I believe they would have been more open to start at 80 cents, but I'm going to tell you that they came back and said, we're not talking to anybody that's not offering 85 cents.
We're going to write you a letter of intent. You're going to see it within 24 hours at 85 cents per square foot. On a 15-year term, how much abatement can you offer? I'm going to need some runway with free rent in order to get this place retooled.
So how much time do you need?
15 years, I usually ask for 12 months.
It's completely reasonable in 12 months. We just can't give up a whole year, spread it out. I mean, if you can do it like 9 months for the first year, like lower that and put the 3 months, a month the next year,
Say
and
no
spread
more.
it out. And
I understand.
Hi, Janice speaking.
Janice, lovely to speak with you.
Yes.
Danny D'Angelo, you spoke with my partner in reference to the laundromat, Jeremiah, briefly.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm glad I caught you in a good mood.
I have some experience in the industry. I've been running laundries for over 20 years and, frankly, with quite a few stores in 3 states, I've done well. And mostly because this is what we do. We look for underperforming laundries, to put it politely, stores that are falling apart. And we want to reach out to you, see if and when that lease is available, sign it, renew the store with new equipment. Should make sense to you because what we're doing is spending the money on equipment and on our future success instead of spending the money on buying someone's failed laundromat or building one from scratch, which I kind of see as recipes for disaster, if that makes sense. It's my understanding that there is really no lease if that's the case.
What the hell you aiming to do?
I ain't aiming to do nothing. I'm doing it.
I mean, we're expecting it soon, but his time is up in 2 weeks at the end of this month.
Oh, goodness.
So, it just depends on how difficult it is to get him out after that, because he's kind of not responding. He's just not, he's out there like trying to sell something that he doesn't really have.
Sure.
And,
Meaning, and I'm not asking about anything personal or your rent rolls, but I appreciate the inside information. So your tenant is trying to sell the business rights?
right.
Okay.
But there's not really, and in doing so, so I don't represent the tenant. I represent the ownership, and in doing
landlords,
so,
yeah.
But in doing so, what he's done is his agent has had every laundromat prospective tenant sign an NDA. So, and come to find out, finally they'll do that thinking, oh, they're going to be making a deal. But then what happens is he doesn't have any he has no information. He has no profit and income. He has nothing to give them.
Janice, I like your style. Let me tell you, in my experience, I had 36 stores, okay, starting with the first one that I purchased. That would be the only laundromat I would ever buy. Let me back up. Let me take a wild guess. Janice does not go to a laundromat every Sunday, do you?
No, I haven't been to.
Don't feel bad about it. Me neither. I'm going back even further, right? The earth cooled, the dinosaurs came. Middle class folks don't frequent laundromats. We just don't. We have a washer dryer. If we're lucky, we have a whole room full of washer dryers in the basement somewhere. But it's this odd dichotomy where this industry is full of people that buy the business and they know nothing about it. And I don't mean you need to know how to paint a Picasso in order to own an art gallery. I mean, my analogies don't always work. But you better damn well know what sells. Now, at the end of the day, these people buy these stores over and over again because what works for con artists is greedy people. You need that. That's part of it. And I'm not saying every business owner is greedy, but they say, oh my God, I'm going to be picking up money out of the streets. Oddly, we went and visited this store. He's ripped off all the out of order signs. This equipment is 25 years old. It's at end of life. I know that by looking at it. So I'm going chronologically, right? You and I don't frequent laundromats. We don't know anything about the business, yet we think we can buy them. It's picking up money out of the streets. And so we buy a laundromat, or God forbid, build one. That's just as bad. I don't do that. My partner and I scout them. We find them. We found this through your friend Jason, who said, well, we were looking at another store that is under his management umbrella. And he said, well, this one's good. They pay the rent, but go talk to Janice. So here we are. I would like to sign a 15-year lease with you, contingent on the exit of this tenant. Now, in between somewhere, I missed something. Yes, this poor guy thinks that he's going to sell this place. And yes, he has probably a business broker who will sell you a yogurt stand or a national chain or a laundromat. And he's telling people, sign this non-disclosure agreement. We'll talk to you about buying the business, whatever the price is. It's probably $100,000. I don't know. It's usually $3.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he started up higher than that, but yeah,
$3.
Definitely.
It's always 300 grand,
deals.
Janice. How do I know? Because I see it over and over.
You know, Frank, this is all over. I think I'll write me a book. Make myself even more famous than I am.
If a pig had wings, it would fly.
Nah. Book about my exploits. As a gentleman and a lover.
I expect a free copy.
Free copy. You gotta pay, Frank. You gotta pay.
I don't do hostile takeovers. I'm not signing NDAs through brokers with my partner Jeremiah and then trying to figure out where these laundromats are located. Instead, we walk into the store. Nobody needs to tell us where they were. I feel a little shitty here because I didn't know where this one was, and Jason is not the guy that we used to find them. We would have eventually walked in there, if you follow, because we're building more stores in Sacramento. This probably all makes perfect sense to you. I feel bad for the tenant, but him thinking if he sells this business for $50,000, who's your tenant? It's okay to use dirty words. An idiot. Your tenant would be a fool because they gave, and there's usually earnest money that's non-refundable in these deals. It's horrible. And these are intelligent, thinking people that have money to spend, but they know nothing about the laundry industry. They know nothing about what they're buying. They walk in and see streets paved with gold. They have them come in there on a Sunday when it's busy. And again, I just want you to understand, our interest is in signing a lease, nothing more, nothing less. Yes, extricating this guy from the place is entirely up to you. You're going to do that anyway. We can sign that lease contingent on his exit if it's today, tomorrow, next week, next year. Not kidding. We're going to get our ducks in a row with new equipment. This place, and I'll ask a couple questions here in a minute, depending on the square footage, we'll happily spend $300,000, but it'll be on washers and dryers and elevating this laundromat, not to give someone money to exit. Do you know why I'm calling you? Do you know why I'm even interested in this space? It's a one-word answer. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
No guess?
Oh, no. Yeah, go ahead. Let me know.
Infrastructure.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in goodwill. That's another word. I'm not interested in the signage that's out front. It's the fact that this place is already a laundromat. So I don't have to build it. I don't have to buy it. And I'm rambling. What I need to know, and maybe this never works out for us, I need a rate of rent that is commensurate with a laundromat, not just the area, not what the liquor store is paying. And if that rate makes sense, we'll do a 15-year term. I need a long term because this is a big investment. This isn't like some yogurt shop. You know, the equipment is industrial and costly. And we're going to do our best to get it operating in a timely manner. We're going to fill your parking lot. We're going to change the outlook of this center. And I see you have another empty suite. What's the plan for that suite? Anything yet?
So the other offers, well, for the people that really couldn't be making them, but the other offers, the people that come in, one of them does have a probably 10 laundromats
Mhm.
in a different area, and they're like moving it into this area. And so they are saying, hey, we need that space because there's more dryers that are required, and that they need that space that's to the left, if that's the space that you're talking about.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
So you're
they're
keeping that
offered
you're
for
keeping that open. Well, let me stop you. Their offer to buy, but now they are also in discussions with you about a lease.
So yeah, one of them, the owner of the laundromat, gave permission because his deal was contingent. That guy's business, to buy his business was
Mhm.
contingent on a lease because he has
Of
no
course.
lease. He had to give him permission to come because he's like, well, if I have to, my deal is contingent on a lease. That makes sense. At least that part of it is if I can't get a lease, then
Janice,
no, I'm not.
this
not
doesn't
purchasing it.
change my opinion about that potential tenant. Don't want to know who they are. Don't want to hear the
Yeah.
name. I'm sure we frequent the same cocktail parties. Likely not. They're an idiot because they're offering this guy
Right.
money, and now they know. I don't know if you told them, but normally these deals are done where there's this pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I can't tell you who the landlord is or their agent. You don't have a sign in the parking lot. You haven't hung a sign in the empty suite next door. Listen, I don't get into bidding wars. I don't want to do that. I want to be in first position, of course, because I don't want to waste my energy or yours. We're looking to sign a lease. Again, I won't repeat it again. Contingent on the exit of the tenant. So we have a lease. We're ready to bring
So
in.
this is
Go ahead.
So understood. We don't even know the exact square footage of the space, but it's approximately 2,200 square feet. And the space that's next door to the left is 1,186
Okay.
square feet. So
Let me
so
tell you
our
why.
offers.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Let me tell you why I wouldn't want the space next door. And that I might be cutting
Okay.
my own throat here because you say, well, we like the other guy better because he wants that space.
What does the winner get?
Nothing you both ain't already had.
Don't make much sense, does it?
Oh, you're both crazy. But you keep me occupied. I am having a real good time.
In order to put those dryers in, they're going to have to go back to the city and talk about environmental impact fees. Okay. They're going to have to talk to the state of California, and those fees are preposterous. I would have guessed this space, having been there, is 2,000 square feet. So 2,200 square feet below roof is good for us. It's a good footprint. Now I'm giving you the opportunity to take the other 1,186 and put some optometrist in there. That's I don't want it. I don't need it for storage, and I certainly don't want. I don't build laundromats. This will be another jewel in the crown for Jeremiah and I. You notice I didn't say feather in my cap. Feathers blow away. The jewel in the crown, my newest store is always my favorite one, the baby that needs the coddling, and that's what we are looking to do. I can only tell you why these other folks are probably not in the position that we are in. Don't know who they are. Doesn't matter. None of this is personal. Frankly, I feel for the people that buy laundromats and lose. Your potential new tenants here are going to do far better than the guy that bought this place and bought a bill of goods. I'm going to put together a letter of intent. What's your asking rate? What is your ask on this spot?
Well, I'm going to just tell you from already negotiating with ownership for the space. They've turned down the other offer, basically that other offer, because they thought he was an idiot. They're
Wait,
like, we don't want the
guy that has 10 stores?
No, the one that they gave permission for us to speak to. The
Okay,
person that has 10 stores, they really want that person, but that they did do something that wasn't very bright, and then they have money, but they signed this they signed the NDA,
Yeah.
and then realized after the fact, because they were like, okay, they did say we know it's not worth anything for whatever reason. They wanted to give they're like, we're just going to give them some money to, out of charity, basically. We're going to give him some money and then we're just going to move forward. Well, then when things went sour and he went, looking somewhere else, she decided to, okay, well, we'll just wait till he's gone and we'll move forward. But when she went to do so, her attorney looked at it and said, you signed an NDA for 2 years. And so, anyways, and then they went and did their recognizance.
The individual, the first guy, the idiot, is really moot. That's neither here nor there. Then the second one, and between you and I, Janice, anybody who buys a laundromat's an idiot in my book, but I learned that a long time ago. I'm not that old. And then the one that has 10 stores,
they had money. Yeah. So
she signed an NDA. Yeah, they got 10 laundromats. They make money. And they're scouting. Yeah. But they found this store doing what people do. They found it by looking for laundromats for sale. That's how they found it. It's not how I found it. Jeremiah and I, we're not signing any NDA. So they're out for 2 years either way.
Right. So unfortunately, I've let ownership know, like, they can't go. They're like, well, that's who we wanted. And so
they're like, when they hear from me,
they turned down the other offer. When they came back from the other offer, I believe he didn't listen to me. I believe if he had put in, they would have been more open to start at 80 cents. But I'm going to tell you that they came back and said, we're not talking to anybody that's not offering 85 cents. So I believe they would go to 80 cents with knowing, their deal is they want to go in with somebody that they feel like makes good decisions, because the only reason why they want to keep the laundromat is if it's going to be one that's ran well, that makes it a better center, because they don't like, they were already, this is the second time they've went and, to evict him, because it doesn't bring in good people, and they're trying to turn that corner around over there. And,
Janice,
there's no problems on the other issues.
I could pretend right now to talk to you about how we elevate the center, but I already did.
Mm-hmm.
I already told you that. If it comes to something, if it comes to something, my parking lot needs to be well lit, sparkling clean. We don't get into fights or arguments with the other tenants about who's parking where or what's going on. The liquor store is good. If they have problems, how long have you worked with this landlord?
I do all of their properties in Northern California, and it's been 3 years. Okay. So I know them well. Yeah. It's a family owned.
Excellent. And I like your style from the get. What we intend to become is the police of this center, because I see red personally when I see some homeless folks hanging out, or some drug addicts doing stupid shit, or people that are buying liquor at the liquor store. And I've had some liquor store neighbors, and plenty of them, and dollar stores, and the type, and the smoke shops and the vape shops. I don't go communicate with them. I communicate with the knuckleheads, as I call them, and the local PD. We sign rights to trespass. And I'm not out there personally stunning people at 3 a.m. I don't go to my stores after dark, but we take care of business. The only negative signage in my laundromats is a little 1-inch thing that says no loitering. And we sign rights to trespass, so we're able to call and take care of it. Because I see red. That's the food in my kids' mouths. That is what we provide. I hear what you're saying. What are your triple nets? If we do 85 cents per square foot, I heard you, look, this is a negotiation, whether we like it or not. And you said they're not going to accept less than. Okay. I'm not going to go into where they arrived at the price, et cetera. When someone says that, and I'm not here to teach you anything, when someone says they won't accept any less, okay. The difference with us and a dollar store or the optometrist you might get next door, or the liquor shop, is they have items that they sell, right? They put the stuff on the shelf. If you get a nail salon next door, that's a service industry. We have to spend the money on the equipment. This will be $250,000, $300,000 in washers and dryers alone without breaking a sweat. And we want to get those in there. Yes, we like the infrastructure.
Right.
No, we don't. We don't try to limp this place along with that equipment that's in there in any way, shape, or form. Now, your previous operator who thinks he's got a saleable business, he does own that equipment and he can take it with him. I'll put that in my LOI, but he can't harm the infrastructure in any way. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
You're a professional
Yeah.
realtor. And that needs to be made clear to him, not from us. I have personally stood in front of operators as they exit their laundromat and stared them down, but just to make sure they don't cut the copper or start messing around. The old wives' tale that they're going to pour concrete down the drain, that doesn't really happen. It could, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, their ownership stops at that equipment, just like in your home. You can change your
Mm-hmm.
washer out. You can't just start pulling the copper out of the walls. So next thing, we're going to write you a letter of intent. You're going to see it within 24 hours at 85 cents per square foot. I can't speak to your triple nets, whatever they are. I hope they're not high. What are they?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, and we just raised them for the first time in
Lucky
over
me.
a decade. Yeah. Well, they were the problem is this, the boys, their father passed away and they took it over and they had to like smarten up business wise because the center was, it's in the red. So, and it's because of these old tenants from their father from many years ago, and he never made any raises. So now, they had to actually evaluate the numbers,
Yeah.
and it's 60 cents now.
Okay.
It was 45, but it didn't cover the cost. So they're not charging for extra.
I understand. Look, I can't do anything about triple nets. I've
Right.
got stores in Colorado where we've got snow removal. Here we don't. So 60 cents, you're saying, is the triple net. I'm
Yep.
not going to include that in my LOI because I don't provide what is gospel. I can't change that. On a 15-year term, how much abatement can you offer? I'm going to need some runway with free rent in order to get this place retooled.
So how much time do you need?
15 years, I usually ask for 12 months.
Right. So this is what's going to be preferred. And again, I feel like it's just because they're hurting. It's completely reasonable in 12 months. And that's what, other offers have included. And they're just, well, you can't do 12 months. This is the thing. They don't have money. They never participate in TI. So free rent is the only way that they normally go.
Yeah, there was my next question.
That's what they do. And in replacement, they do that. And usually it is okay, well, you guys are doing this much. Okay, we understand. So what we can do. What they're asking is, look, we just can't give up a whole year. Can they spread it out? So my suggestion would be more like, if you can do it like 9 months for the first year, like lower that and put the 3 months, like a month the next year free and a month the next year free and so on.
Sure.
Say
and
no
spread
more. It out. And
I understand.
You understand?
We're not asking for
Yeah.
12 months, Janice, in order to squeeze you. And
Yeah.
if my
To be
next,
open. Yeah.
my next question would be tenant improvement money. And I'm very frank, just like you. Is there money? No, it's a family. They have, even if they have 100 other centers that are doing really well. Personally, I own commercial space myself. I would look at this as an island. This center is not doing well. You've got one failed tenant you're trying to get out. You've got the liquor store. I don't know. I'm going to do 9 months abatement up front. We're going to spread out the other, if there's zero TI, no TI, I would normally ask for 18 months of abatement. And since we're spreading it out, I'm going to do 14 months. And I don't want to surprise you with anything, but you're going to see the way that it's spread out. 9 up front.
Okay.
I can't even get this place retooled within 3 months. So the equipment
Right.
doesn't sit on the shelves. You go to Lowe's Depot and you order a washer, you expect to leave with it. We all know that
No,
doesn't
I understand.
necessarily happen with industrial equipment.
Right. They know the time frame for that. Yeah.
Excellent. I'm not looking to fight over this. Do me a favor. This is my cell phone number that you're looking at. Am I calling you on yours?
Yes.
Okay. I'll email you the LOI. Give me a day. Put it together. We want to do this thing. We want to sign this thing. And a signed LOI is as good as gold, contingent on the exit of this tenant. I can't speak to how long it's going to take. Look, the guy knows he doesn't have anything for sale. And if I were you, if you're communicating with him directly, I'm not here to give you advice. I would just say, look, there are people out scouring the universe for laundromats, which there are, and a very, very big operator found this spot and they've made an offer. Get the fuck out. That's all you have to do.
Right.
And I don't care if he takes every stick of equipment and his old box TV off the wall and his. What's
Right.
funny is when we went, he had just cleaned up when we scouted it, and he pulls all the out of order signs off because he doesn't want a potential buyer to see that. But then he has to deal with people endlessly saying this machine's broken, which means no one's coming in. And you said something telling. He doesn't provide any figures as far as income. How are you going to buy a business without any P&L statements? Come on. That's
Right.
He'll never.
Well, I don't know if you were there when the owner's there, but he's a very elderly man. And no, I mean, our biggest concern was when he leaves that we were going to have to pay to get his equipment out of there because I don't
he
even
won't
know
take
that he's
it.
capable.
Except
Yeah, I don't
people
think they'll
take
take
that
it.
old equipment out of spite or it gets repossessed, believe it or not. And even a
Yeah.
it's where you go to a yard sale, there's a lawnmower. The guy selling the lawn, hey, does it work? That's your only question. Yeah, it works like a champ. It's brand new. Put some gas in it. Let's start it up. I don't have any gas. Well, here you have a bad salesman because he doesn't have a gallon of gas. I'm not buying that lawnmower. It's worthless. Laundromat equipment, no matter how old it is, pulled out of a laundromat is worthless. And he knows that.
Right.
So if he does, you have to be gentle, but you have to say, look, it's over. You're never going to sell it. Who knows how long he's been trying? How long has this guy been a tenant? That's the only question I'll ask. And I'm intrigued. How long has he been a tenant?
Decades.
Decades. Okay.
A long time.
So he thinks that his exit, the guy should have marched into your office. You've known this landlord for 3 years. He should have marched into your office, signed another lengthy lease, and retooled it, doing exactly what we're doing. He'd make more money.
Yeah, but he's done. Ever since I've known that owner of the laundromat, he's like, I need to retire.
Of course he's done.
I need to retire. So now
Of
he's
course
just
he's
decided
done.
to go.
He's
but it's like,
ready to go
but I
and he
need
wants to
take some money
retire
with me.
because he can't make money. When you're making $30,000 a month, you say, you know what, this isn't so bad. I'll retire this way. But it is what it is. I like your style, Janice.
Right.
Nobody's from California. Where are you from originally?
California, from Vacaville.
All right, I'm an idiot. Hit me with a text. You'll see Jeremiah will put together the LOI, and you'll see it within a day. God bless.
All right. Perfect.
Bye.
All right. Let me know if you need anything.
Yep.
Thanks.
Ciao.
Bye.
Women. Love.
After all the scolding,
Dude, you got me. Dude, I was already praying. Man, look. Dude, I'm fucking past inside. I don't even know how to explain the feeling that I'm feeling. And I know usually you tell people don't get excited because the LOI has been written yet. But man.
okay, I know what you think.
Is this really happening?
No, it's not. It's all smoke and mirrors, buddy. Look, this isn't luck. Luck has nothing to do with this or anything in life, in my opinion, okay? This
Yes, sir.
is a path that you took. You, like many people, are incapable of doing what I just did. And it's not magic. That was not a big deal. This store is ready to fall. And if I can break my arm patting myself on the back, it's just knowing and understanding people how to talk. And look, I talked over her a couple times. Oh, I'm rude. If I evaluated that call and watched it all again, I got shit to say, right? So I interrupt people. But she also does the same, and I think we had a good banter. And without asking, bro, I didn't ask her questions other than one at the very end. Everything's done. All of the psychological warfare is over. The psyops are finished. And then you say, so tell me this, right? I don't call up and say, what happened in the laundry? I don't care. She told me about the 2 previous offers because I didn't ask, okay? One idiot, second, even the one that has 10 stores was dumb enough to sign that NDA. Bro, over it, rubber stamp. This is not the most brilliant, most perfect call I've ever made, but this particular happenstance is exactly why no one should ever buy a laundromat. When did you first think, I want to get into the laundry business? When timeline, chronologically, when did you first have that thought? You personally.
As soon as I journeyed out from my apprenticeship, that was the last thing my instructor told me to do, was find a way out. And I was already looking. Yeah, he told me that himself from being in the trades, find a way out. And I don't mean to get personal with you, but my mentor just passed away like 2 weeks ago from killing himself. He was doing too much stress. And it's the trades, it's a lot of pressure. And
so remind me, your apprenticeship, and you're currently working in which trade?
Drywall framing.
So
the thing about it
I
is
know
that
all about it. I've done it.
Slow.
I've done it, bro. And it's either, 10 years ago in the housing boom, they were hiring contractors just to hang drywall. They were hiring entire contracting crews just to tape it. They were hiring entire crews just to sand it. Can you imagine? Right. And now, it's slowed down and it's getting worse.
Now here's the thing: the LOI is worth another $1,000, right?
What? No.
Yeah.
No.
I thought it was separate, or was that included in the total package,
Jeremiah,
or whatever?
I can't. No. It is anybody who wants my letter of intent, whether they've seen my course or they're just watching a YouTube video, I'll email them my letter of intent. My letter of intent. You and I are going to work on this LOI together.
Yes, sir.
You've got like 3 plates spinning right now. Number 1, sorry for your loss. Number 2, that's astounding. The story that you can tell where the day of your graduation from your apprenticeship, which is supposed to be all hugs and kisses and hand jobs, and the guy says, get the fuck out. Wow.
Yeah. It sounds like the movie Get Out.
Wow. And so that was the moment when you started looking for something else.
Yep, it was already an idea, but that just puts, guaranteed that I needed to do that. You know what I mean? Because when you retire from construction, people don't live that long. The stress and all that shit.
Not if you don't move to management. Right,
that part.
Okay.
And I've been sleeping in my
She has already texted me her email, which we already know from the Googlenator. I'm going to send you the letter of intent. I'm going to send you instruction. Read the instruction through and through, twice, 3 times, okay? This is not a quiz in high school. It's not a quiz on drywall and how far apart the number 8 screws need to be. This is, I know a lot of shit about a lot of shit. This is about the reality of your moving forward and understanding the processes, okay? And don't be in a hurry. We're not going to send it till tomorrow, no matter what, because we need fresh eyes. You write a poem, you think it's a masterpiece, then you wake up, you sober up, and you say, wow, this is dirt. I need to fix this and this and this. That's what we do in business. So cool your jets, calm down. And this is not a story yet. None of this is done.
Okay.
She's told us, you can spin out of control about, the other people. And this is how people screw up and lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. They say, well, I'll buy the business. He wants $300,000. I'll give him $100 because I'm making a deal of $200 off. Or I know that he doesn't have a lease, but I'll give him $50,000 so I have some ownership rights. This man is trying to sell nothing for $300,000. Proof positive in the words. Dude, been doing this a long, long time. When I started, there was no Danny D'Angelo. When I started, I didn't know. There was no information other than some book that I purchased online, and it turned out that it was a fake AI book where they inserted, and this is 20 years ago, it wasn't even AI. Name the business. So you want to be an optometrist. Well, the first thing about being a optometrist laundromat, you know, that you could tell where they had inserted the word. I read that 2 pages of that thing. I was like, well, I'm out $50. And part of that process for me was why I do this now.
I'm pretty sure this hot water heater's got a few more good years left in it.